Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So this is the third video in my little starting my self-retightening interlocking series. And so finally made it, because let me just give you a little heads up. My hair is actually 1 week and 1 wash in from when I completely finished my first full retightening. And so I'm actually a little surprised about how much like new growth, you know, that I got actually in just a week. So, you know, it doesn't look as super crisp as when I first finished it, like the day I first finished it, but it still looks really nice. And so I am excited to show you how it looks, because like I said in my last video, at that point I was only halfway done, but now I'm completely done. I still do not have any combined locks. I didn't lose any locks or accidentally, you know, cut off any locks or entangle any roots. Like, I'm so happy because this retightening turned out perfect. Like, I couldn't ask for anything better, you know. And I can say that going into it, like I mentioned in my very first video, that I was kind of nervous about retightening the back of my head, because like I'm gonna have to have like a two-way mirror type of thing to see the back of my head. And y'all, legit, I didn't even use a mirror for the back of my head. Like I looked in the mirror to do the front of my head, because that's the first part I started on. So of course, you know, it made me more comfortable. I was like, because the locks in the front are much smaller than the back. And that's another thing about doing your own hair. You may not really pay attention to the smallest details when someone else does your hair. So when I did the back of my hair, and you know, my husband was there to help if I needed him to take a picture or something for me. And when he did, I realized that the locks in the crown and a little bit lower back part of my head were actually much bigger than the ones in the front. And I already knew, like she already explained to me when I first got them installed, that the ones in the front are gonna be smaller, you know, because that's what everybody sees. But I didn't realize how big of a difference. I know that sounds crazy, like you're probably like, well, you've recorded your hair before, and I know, but I never paid attention till I was actually retightening my hair. And so I felt comfortable doing the front in the mirror, one, because it's easy to see, and two, because they're so small in certain areas that I really wanted to take my time and make sure I was doing it right. Now I'm pretty sure over the course of time, I'll probably be able to do my whole entire head without looking in the mirror at all. But like I said, I did the whole back of my head without looking in the mirror. So parting is still on point, you know, nothing combined. And I'm like, so that really gave me confidence. And all it took was I did a first couple rows, because I was getting kind of frustrated trying to look in the mirror, because I didn't have a good system, trying to look in the 2 mirrors and section my hair and all that stuff. And it was just I was getting tired of it. So I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna go by feel. So I sectioned my hair in small sections, had all my clips and everything, and basically I took my time. I used my fingers, made my rows or whatever, smoothed out every side of a lock before I retightened it, and hey, turned out perfect. So can't complain about that. Really boost my confidence on that one. So yay for me. But yeah, it took me, I'd say about 5 days. Actually, I would say about 6 days to complete my hair from start to finish. I could have done it in probably 2.5, 3 days, because 2 of those days I only spent like less than an hour on my hair each day, because I had a lot of errands to run. And then 2 other days I was like sick, and so one of those 2 days that I was sick, I didn't do my hair at all. Like, I couldn't. I was in the bed. So, and then another day, the next day after I felt a little better, I did a small section of my hair. And then as soon as I felt better, man, I knocked it out like in less than a day. So I feel like if I can, what do you call it? If I can just get like one good like weekend or a solid couple days that I can just, what do you call it? Reserve just for doing my hair. Can't think of the word right now, but then I think I can knock it out in about 2 days. Like, it was easy. Like, and once you start doing it, you really start catching on speed. The rotation just feels natural. So for me, it was no big deal. It was a good experience. Even though I was sick and I was super busy, it was still a good experience. And it just makes me happy that I know for sure that now I can retighten my whole entire head by myself. That's it. So okay, so that was just a little catch up. So my full, like, I guess, opinion on retightening. Really simple. I'm gonna keep it really simple. It's a great experience. It may seem impossible, or it may seem it may seem like a very big task, because you may have a whole lot of locks, or you may have a whole lot of new growth like me, and I'll get to the schedule part in a minute. But if you just take your time, like I've been saying these past two, 3 videos, take your time, have patience, have confidence, you can do it. And once you start doing it, I'm telling you, once you start doing it, it'll start, you'll be like, oh my gosh, why haven't I been doing this before? Like, why has it taken me this long to start doing my own hair? And you may want to start on the front first, like I said, because you can, like, easily see, like, looking in the mirror and see how you're doing. And so that kind of gets you comfortable with the parting, and get you comfortable with making sure that no loose hairs from other locks are getting entangled with your current lock as you're retightening it, stuff like that. So you can get comfortable with a lot of things because you can visually see it. But yeah, my overall experience, excellent. I have nothing bad to say. So my retightening schedule. Okay, so in my last video, I think I explained, or one of the 2 videos, that with the whole weird thing with my consultant and her not contacting me back and all that stuff, by the time I decided to start retightening my own hair, and then by the time I got my tool and everything, I was about 10 to 11 weeks out from my last retightening. So I had a crap load of new growth. And I think in my second video, in my second video, I showed you how my hair, half of my hair looked retightened and how the other half looked with all the new growth still. It was a ton of new growth. I mean, some of my locks required like 2 to almost 3 full rotations, because it was just so much new growth. And so I feel like that is another factor in how long it may take you to retighten your hair, because you have to do so many rotations. But also, when you have so much new growth, the roots of the locks are definitely trying to merge together, because it's so much loose hair. And so you have to spend even more time detangling, or pulling apart the entangled roots of the locks beside each other. And so you have to do that because you don't want to accidentally combine any locks, so you have to take even more time to do it. So my goal, and a suggestion for other people who want to retighten their hair, is, now that you're on your own schedule, find a time period which is comfortable for you to get it done efficiently, but also get it done correctly. And by that I mean, find a period of time when you have a decent amount of new growth where you can get a good, maybe full rotation, or maybe even 2 if you have to stretch it, but it's not in excess, like it's not a ridiculous amount. And so for me, I feel like 5 to 6 weeks is a perfect amount for me. I'll have a decent amount of new growth to do at least 1 to 1.5 rotations, and with that, it's cut me down on time. And also it doesn't give my roots enough time to start trying to mingle together. So just enough new growth to do a retightening, not enough for all the loose hairs to start to come together. So that is my new schedule, about 5 to 6 weeks. And of course, since I'm retightening my own hair, that schedule is tentative. So whenever I feel like retightening, I can. And I've noticed over the past 2 years that my hair goes through different growth cycles. I mean, it goes through its own growth cycle when you're pregnant, but also when you're not pregnant and things like that. Like, there's times when my hair has a growth spurt and literally new growth in a couple weeks, and it's like crazy. But then there's other times when it's been maybe 8, 10, 12 weeks and I still don't have that much new growth. And that, I feel like that all has to do with your, you know, your overall health and your nutrition and everything like that. So that's another thing I'm working on, because I love getting the growth. Of course, I'm going to keep it maintained so the growth doesn't get out of control as far as retightening, but I love the growth and I want to keep it up, because the earlier part of this year, my growth was slow. Like, my consultant had pushed me all the way back to 8 weeks, and I could probably make it to 9 weeks, and she was still able to retighten my head in like 2.5 hours. So it had slowed down. I'm eating better. So I feel like that's helping out. That's really helping out as far as growing goes. So that's my schedule. What else? So let me get a couple of the items that I use to retighten my hair, and then I will show you those in just a minute. Okay, so I have a pretty simple tool list that I use to retighten my head. And so one is water. So this is my little spray bottle. It only has water, and I don't add any other like specialty, you know, oils or anything special. It's just straight up water. And you need to have this, because you definitely do not want to retighten your hair while it's fully dry, because it's easy to snap, you know what I'm saying? So you want to bring back the elasticity. So if you can retighten your hair after you have just washed it, but it does air dry over time. So either if you washed it or it's just dry because you washed it maybe a couple days ago, always be refreshing your hair with water as you go through your sections. Like, you may have sprayed your whole head with water. By the time you get to the opposite section that you've been working on, it may be dry. So just stay spraying it. Another thing is just plain old hair ties or scrunchies, whatever you want to call them. I use these to section off the bigger sections of my hair, the sections of my hair that I'm not currently working on. I use these. And then these little long bill clips, I guess you can call them. I use these to when I'm working in a section. Of course I do one row at a time. So I may have like a block section, and I use these to hold up all the hair, all the locks that aren't in that one row that I'm working on. And so I like these a lot. They actually do not snag on your hair, which is great because they're really smooth. So, and I mean, these are cheap. You get these from hair store. I mean, you can get all this stuff from the hair store except for my retightening tool. So, and then these are like the short bill clips. I actually wish these were the same material as other ones, because I feel like sometimes these might snag your hair. They're smooth, but because they're pointed, they can kind of catch hairs easily. But I usually use these to hold in place or move out the way the locks that I have completed in the row. And then I have a rat tail comb. I don't use the top part, of course, but I like the end. By the time I got done finishing my hair, I could actually just use my fingers as parting. But in the beginning, you know, when you want to get, like, make sure your lines are straight when you're first starting a row, you can definitely use this to help part your hair. It's not necessary though. I use it and it was helpful, but like I said, by the time I finished my whole head, I had learned to just use my finger, which worked out perfectly. But maybe you can use that to be a little more precise. And then of course, like from my last video, is this little tool that I used, the London lock tool. I did a whole little video, my second video, about this tool. So I'm not going to go into like super detail about that. There's even a link in my second video on the site where you can buy this tool from. So head over to there if you know, if you haven't already and you've already watched that video. But anyways, my final review on it is I still love it. It worked out amazing. It made my retightening so much easier because I just didn't have to worry about it constantly slipping out. I didn't have to worry about it snagging. I didn't have to worry about it being too big or too wide. It's like the perfect size, and then the hook clip at the end just makes it convenient. So I mean, basically everything that I've talked about in that second video about it, I'm continuing it here. I've finished my whole head now with it, and it's a permanent part of my retightening schedule. I hope and pray that it doesn't break. Reading review and stuff on it, I've never seen anybody have a problem with that at all, and it does come with a 1-year warranty, so if something does happen to it, she will replace it, send you another one. But yeah, I love it so much. Like, I literally wish I would have bought 2 so I can just always have a backup. I know that's crazy, but maybe in the future I will buy 2, because you know, life happens, you just never know. So I store it somewhere safe so I don't lose it by accident or anything like that. But you just never know. Just life, and then you throw kids in there and you never know what can happen to your things, you know. So maybe in the future. Right now I'm good with that one. But yeah, I still love it. I think that is it for my like review of retightening my hair for the first time, and then the review of the tool. I will be adding a short clip of my hair. I'm going to do like try to do like a 360 so you can kind of see my hair and see how I did, you know, let me know how I did. But yeah, so I'll do that now. So if you see me looking away, I'm looking in the mirror because I'm trying to make sure that you can actually see something. Oh, my hair looks crazy. I know I may not be parting the rows straight with my finger right now because I'm not concentrating. So I'm sorry if that like bothers you. You want like a straight row, but as you can see, my parts are still there. I'm surprised that I did get just a little bit of fuzzy, a little bit of new growth going on, but I'm not mad at it. It just means my hair is growing. Because technically, it has been 2 weeks since I first started retightening my hair, so. Yeah. I mean, I know that might have been looking all kinds of crazy. Yeah. Give it a thumbs up. give the experience a thumbs up. Can't complain. But yeah, that's it. So that is it. Like this video if you did. Leave me a comment down below. Like I always say, words of encouragement or inspiration. And yeah, if you have not subscribed to me, please do. Why haven't you yet? You know you love me. But and if you have, I really appreciate you subscribing and sticking around. And I really appreciate like already the comments and like interest that I get about my hair. Like y'all are amazing. Y'all, like, I love my hair, but then when y'all are letting me know that, you know, you like the way my hair looks too, and I appreciate it, because I mean, that means I'm not alone. You know, everybody's biased about their own self, and I really like my hair. So I really appreciate the nice comments that everybody gives me. Do stay tuned for a video coming out soon. Don't know the exact date yet that it'll be published, but I'm going to do a little facts about my hair type of thing. How many facts I'm going to do yet, I don't know, but I do have some just little interesting facts that I feel like could turn into like a frequently asked question, like frequently asked questions. So I'm going to go ahead and make that video. But other than that, hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for watching my videos, and just stay tuned for more to come on this channel. Really appreciate you guys. Okay, see you guys later. Bye. No, no, no.